such as, discussions, debriefings, and officer meetings. And that's what I aim to do, act as a mediator, because, let's say sometimes our officers are very capable of what they're doing, and sometimes things just get a little bit heated, okay? So it's good when you have some person who realizes that, okay, maybe chill, all right? Things are going out of bounds. That's probably where we have to cut it off because, we're professional people and we like to keep it professional, okay? I would also cover for unavailable officers because the VP is a very flexible position, okay? So I'm not going to say a lot of the officers are going to be missing in action for the majority of the time, but when they are missing in action, I am, perfectly capable of filling in because as a VP, you're essentially right under the president, so you're informed of all the, inside material that's going on and info and events, and you're practically capable of doing, filling in for any position. Now, some of you may ask, what new things do I bring to this position, right? So when I'm thinking about what new things do I bring, my answers may seem a little bit cliche because a lot of the answers are cliche. And now let's go on the position. My answers is, well, let's say I have two answers actually. Insight and suggesting new ideas. Now I'm going to refer back to insight, okay? What is insight? So insight is essentially referring to the fact that I'm a mediator. But instead of a mediator, don't think I'm your friend all the time because I'm also going to challenge you too. Think about it, okay? Although the officers are capable and they know what they're doing and that's why we chose them, some of them may not have, essentially, their ideas may not be necessarily correct at all times. And as the VP, you have to be strong enough to realize that, maybe this is not necessarily the direct, the correct direction we're going towards, or maybe it's not feasible for the club. So as a VP, you're supposed to be able to recognize, those signs immediately and say, hold up, maybe we should look at this, in deeper details and converse more. And, you're going to be fighting against the VP, I would say. Not fight, that's not a correct word. Constructive criticism, I would say, So, because you're working as an in-group and the VP is essentially overseeing a lot of those things too. So, he or she would be, should be able to converse with them and assess what's right and what's wrong. Suggesting new ideas. So I mentioned earlier that a VP's position is very flexible. And in terms of flexibility, relating that back to new ideas, let's say a VP oversees a lot of things too. And let's say if I notice that, maybe we're lacking in, let's say, public relations. We're not advertising enough for these for our events. I'm gonna be on the person and say, maybe we should do a little bit more. Find some way to get ourselves back to SAC and hop on the long radio and announce this to everyone. Or let's say we're losing members, or a lot of the upperclassmen aren't showing up anymore. I would probably talk to the activities director one-on-one and be like, maybe we should come up with something to keep the members here. Or make them come back and feel like they should ask them why they're leaving so much. So as a VP, you're overseeing a lot of positions, and the position is very flexible. So that's what I aim to do. It's a very general, and I aim to be general, so I can oversee a lot of things, fill in where I'm needed, and that's essentially what I hope to do. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, it's the same question I asked maybe earlier, like what's the current issue that is affecting Hmong students? What do you think?
What's the current issue that's affecting Hmong students?
Yes.
Well, okay. One of the things that, maybe this is just me or I'm biased, but one of the things that ticks me off is that, it's a sense that we're becoming too enamored in this new environment we're growing up in. And a lot of us are, we don't realize our roots or where we came from. We tend to reject that a little bit at times or overlook it, and we don't, and we take that for granted. I mean, just me, for myself, for example, right? Sometimes I hear my parents, they push me a lot, and I would get mad at those kind of things. But relating back to the culture sense, you should realize and know where your parents come from, and realize that the oppositions you're going through now is minuscule compared to what they went through. And just relate that back to your cultural experiences. Make sure you're aware of yourself, your identity, and that should be the biggest things. Yeah.
Hey, oh, sorry. Great presentation. Love the energy, man. I mean, it was good. The hat.
Thanks, man.
The bottom of the long person. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I don't fish.
It's all good. I love fishing, man.
Yeah, no, I think you understand what a vice president, the goals of the vice president. I think that, the first thing, always the question I ask is, do you understand your position? Do you understand what you're running for and what you will be doing? And I think you have a pretty good grasp of your responsibilities. The only thing I can kind of push back on that is, because you will be essentially, managing every single of these categories on top of your biosci major, you said, right?
Yeah.
On top of your coursework, what are you taking next? I don't know. What's your chemistry and all that stuff, right? I don't know.
All of the divs next.
Okay, but it's hard. It's what I'm gonna tell you, right? It's hard. So my concern is, are you gonna burn out?
That's a very good question. And it's always possible because you can take that into account too. But I think if I feel that I'm burning out, I can always ask for help from the officers too. Because I remember last meeting, one of the things that was mentioned was that the job of the VP too was to also, check up on the officers and see if they're academically sound with all their coursework. So let's just say if you guys notice, or if I notice that I'm not academically sound, I will make sure that I speak up, or you just ask me questions, see how I'm doing, and I'm sure that we have officers who are also capable to, just jump in and help me with the materials too.
Okay, I think that's good.
Mhm.
I mean, I think you're, addressing, some key issues in terms, and then of course, most importantly, you're answering the how part, and I think that's essential to being in your position. I don't know if VP lacks creativity. I think the VP has got to be one of the smartest person to be able to, to put everything together, and then, like you said, to kind of take a step back and knowing when to say when not to. So
Yeah, that's
it's a
the
tough
thing.
position.
That's the thing. I understand what you're saying. The thing with the VP is you don't want to, because like you said, you don't want to overstep your boundaries and you also don't want to become a dictator. So like a VP, he's in the background, but once you're in the background, you should be aware of what's going on around you. So you're able to, assess what's right and what's wrong. And like I said, being a VP doesn't mean you're passive all the time too. You have to make sure that if, I don't agree with the president, I don't think this is feasible. Maybe we're not going to succeed with this, or we're not going to raise enough money. That's when you jump in and you're saying, okay, maybe we should do this, and we probably should talk with the treasurer to see if, we have enough funding and stuff like that, Yeah.
And no one's gonna know who you are, dude. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No one knows who I am here either.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?